Hey guys, my name's Karstin.
And I'm Jay.
And this week we want to bring you another video training for small group leaders about something I think all of us have had. And if you've led groups for probably even 2 weeks by now, you might already have it. Something that's consistent, something that will pop up in every group. And really what we're talking about this week is difficult group members. Now, Jay, have we ever had a difficult group member?
Oh, yeah. We've been leading groups for a while, so we've had some people come in and out of group. And there was a time, I think, long time ago, where we had a difficult group member. It was an older group member that came to our young adults group and was hitting on the younger girls that were a little too young. And we had to address that before it became too awkward for the rest of the group. And we were able to set up healthy boundaries and just coach and talk to make it beneficial for the whole group.
That's cool. Yeah, this week really what it is not focusing on who the difficult group member is, but really what's actually a benefit coming out and signs of a healthy group for having a difficult group member. And really that's our first one. We're going to be 3 benefits today of a difficult group member. And the first one is simply just that the difficult group member actually means your group is healthy and growing. Oftentimes what you see in groups is they just get so tight-knit, which is great, but kind of start turning into a clique and a club and less of a small group in a church. And so really a difficult group member, what that means is that people in your group feel that it's safe enough to invite their friends, their co-workers, their family, and really it actually means that maybe that difficult group member feels welcome, maybe even for the first time. I know someone in our group even just 2 days ago opened up that for the first time they actually felt welcomed in a church environment. And I wouldn't call them a difficult group member, but really what it meant was for the first time they felt welcome, they felt invited, and in that setting now they can hear more about who Jesus is and get connected to a small group and a community. So really the first one, if you have a difficult group member in your group, be happy. That means your group is growing, that God's up to big things, and that's not just a one type of people in that group, that it spans. And the way I like to put it is a small group should look like you took one person from each lunch table in high school and threw them into a group, and God just does crazy, weird things, and it's so powerful to see God working. So the first one is simply that a difficult group member is a sign of a healthy, growing group. What's our second one?
So our second one actually is just being able to have a difficult member in your group also challenge you by growing your heart and your perspective. I have a verse that goes along with it. It's in Colossians 3:13, and it says, "Make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others." So there's going to be a moment in time in group when someone may say something and you may not agree, or you may be a little offended or just feel kind of awkward. And in those times, I think it's great to remember that we as leaders need to be able to just have a change of heart by giving grace and just checking our own heart by making sure that we're just being patient, but also how to be able to just not focus on that one thing that someone said in group and be affected by it for the rest of the group. I think what's healthy is being able to take what they said and point it back to Jesus, and just being able to not derail the group by going off into side topics that aren't related, but being able to challenge yourself as a leader just with your own heart and your own relationship with God.
That's cool. And our third one is this. It helps you grow as a leader. I know even about 3 weeks ago, we had a guy in our group bringing up just kind of crazy theology. And for our group, and really what I would call a difficult group member is, it's someone that's really easy to, like Jay had mentioned, derail a group. You're trying to take the group one direction and they kind of keep pulling it back to another. For this guy, it really was, he struggled with some theology things. And it was great being able to sit down and talk to him after group and just say, hey, this is what we believe at New Life. This is what we would say is closed fist. Jesus rose, Jesus lived, God created everything. But on the open hand is things that we're not really going to fight about, things that he really felt were important to his own belief in God. I just said, like, listen, we love you. You're 100% welcome in this group. And that's something that's important for every difficult group members, to let them know that they're welcome in every single group, that they're welcome in the church. We're never going to turn anyone away. But really looking at them and just saying, hey, this is what our group believes. This is what our group is striving to become. And it helps you grow as a leader, really, because it makes you think about those questions and not just be challenged, but actually look into it. I had a group member last night just say, I'm really struggling with, I read somewhere in my Bible that God said this, and really it kind of struck me in a weird way, and I didn't know what verse they were talking about. So there I was last night looking up in my Bible app, finding the verse they were talking about, reading it, going over it, and trying to come up for them an answer. But really what it made me do is grow in my own belief, my own understanding of who God is. So really a difficult group member actually challenges you to grow. And so just kind of a last nugget, I think difficult group members are amazing. I think it's really, like we said, a sign of a healthy group. It's a sign and an opportunity for us to grow and even to change our perspective. And I know Jay had hit on that. Oftentimes we think group should look one way, and actually God wants to do something completely different. A couple of weeks ago we had a lady share in group. We asked an icebreaker, which are always normally pretty easy. What's your favorite ice cream color? And this week it was, what's the dumbest thing you've done? And she opened, and you're laughing, you know exactly where I'm going. She opened up and said, first time guest ever coming to church, she had said, or even a small group. She said the dumbest thing she had done was talking about drugs, and just a couple months ago, and her getting ODing on drugs and going to places, and it was an awkward moment for the group, and I know for me and Jay as a leader, like, oh my gosh, that derailed a group so quick. But it was so powerful to see one of our other members in our group, who is celebrating over 2 months clean now, be able to stand up and share with them just the hope they've found in Jesus, and how drugs for them used to be a daily habit, but now that God has given them peace and comfort and grace. And it was just so powerful how we thought God was doing something else and kind of being... we thought the group was going to do something else, but God really just showed up and did something amazing. So we just want to encourage you guys. We hope you're having a great week of groups. Spend some time in prayer and ask God, you probably know who the difficult member is, but ask God to give you peace and grace. And we just believe in you guys so much and want to encourage you. So have a great week. We love you guys, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.